conversation go from Spanish to Papiamentu to Dutch. The smell of fries along with diesel and the salty air are strange, but they still seem to add to the ambiance. As you continue towards the shoreline, the water turns from turquoise to a dark blue. The sand is soft and scattered with pieces of coral. Even all this beauty in Curacao has an underlying sense of caution. Locals are excited about their newly sovereign nation, but they are still on guard with the still present mixes of cultures: African, Dutch, Spanish, English, and Portuguese mainly. Papiamentu is a very unique language. It has been said Papiamentu is a mix of Dutch, Spanish, and Portuguese. However, linguistic researchers have still not been able to come to an agreement on the question of whether Papiamentu resulted from the contact between the Spanish conquistadors when they first came here in 1499, or from an Afro-Portuguese pidgin that originated on the west coast of Africa, as the African Atlantic slave trade developed. Curacao may be a beautiful tropical island, but the people are tough. It is located off the northeast coast of South America, along with a group of islands that includes Aruba and Bonaire. In 1986, Aruba seceded from the Dutch kingdom, along with Curacao in 2010. 85% of Curacao's population is a mix of African origin, and there's also 40 other ethnicities that are found here throughout all over the world. The various influences. Oh, this is a Canadian special to the Star reporter. Martin Hellborn describes his visit to a local cafe here. Various influences blend in the Caribbean nation's music, cuisine, and architecture. It's warm with a cooling Caribbean breeze wafting through the open windows. The guitarist starts a smooth West Montgomery vibe, but the groove quickly turns to Latin and Caribbean rhythms as the band takes turns soloing. Both the mix of culture can be found in everything, in the language, in the music, the signs on the street. It can be found everywhere. Curacao doesn't have much in the way of major sports teams. However, that is changing soon. Pitcher outfielder Filippo Tomasoni explains that young children are becoming increasingly interested in baseball, but there is hardly any sources of funds for facilities. Even though they don't have the funds, that's still not stopping them from playing soccer and stuff like that. Soccer and baseball are two of the most popular sports here. Even right outside here, you see kids playing all the time for baseball. Curacao recently became a sovereign nation, and you can still feel the excitement and the sense of pride. However, there is also some lingering bitterness from being under someone else's rule for so long. In addition to the Dutch kingdom granting Curacao sovereignty, they raised over 80% of Curacao's debt, along with giving Curacao most government's control, and that's the most control they've had since the Spanish conquistadors first enslaved the local natives back in 1499. The instability of the island's political system actually began when the first prime minister was let go. He called it a bloodless coup d'etat. That's basically let go, or in French. Curacao has a tough background, but people that have lived here seem to make the most of things. The language is different and strange, but some things are stranger on this island. Nonetheless, the hospitality, beautiful scenery, and the crystal blue beaches are amazing. The locals may come across as guarded, but once you make the effort to say something in their native language, like hello or whatever, even a simple hello, makes their day. It makes them light up with joy and appreciation. And with that, pass it on to you.
Do you have any questions?